Okay, good morning. I'm not doing a wear test today. I'm just trying out a new combination. I really think that the two shades of the Juvia's Place, 210 Togo and 140 Angola, both work well for me. So, instead of doing a side-by-side, since they are actually very different, I'm actually going to mix them to see if that's a good combination for me. I know there's other shades in between 140 and 210, but there are no undertones that are similar between these two colors. So I'm going to be trying that out. I have already moisturized, grapeseed oil. My cheeks are a little stained from my blush yesterday. See, I need to put on some primer. Okay, I have been using the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer, and I even used that yesterday. But today I'm going to use the Wonder Skin Poreless Primer. Not sure if I've used that one yet, like, at all. This is from Shop Miss Ace. This is the AOA Studio brand. It was $1. It's clear. I don't think it mattifies. It minimizes the appearance of pores and fine lines, leaving a smooth canvas for long-lasting makeup application. That works. Juvia's Place stays pretty matte, so I shouldn't need a mattifying primer. That was nice gel. It's kind of like it's like putting like aloe vera gel on or something. Okay, so I got on my primer. The Juvia's Place is pretty good coverage, so I'm not going to conceal. And since it's pretty darn mattifying, I'm also not going to pre-powder. I don't recall if I've used the Juvia's Place with a brush ever, so I'm going to use a brush today because I need to wash my sponges. So this is 210 Togo, which I think is my primary color. So I have a little dot right there. You can see that. And this is the 140 Angola, which I'm using about the same amount. I think that's slightly less. Angola looks pretty darn red compared to Togo, but they're both olive undertones. Just going to mix those. Okay, now I'm going to use my brush. Just start putting that on. So apparently with the brush, that's not enough for my whole face. So I'm going to put down some Angola first. And my Togo. And I don't know, maybe I just ended up with too much on my spatula before when I was mixing it. So now I'm just mixing it in the brush. Okay, I think the finish looks a lot better with the brush, but it doesn't give me as much coverage. I'm pretty sure the brush is eating most of it because there was like nothing left in my hand when I did that. I'm gonna use a little bit more. So I'm gonna use one of my sponges. Just going to mix those together and pat those in the places that needed some extra coverage. And I think it's a pretty decent overall match. I get a lot of sun here, but not a lot here. So this part, even though it's still lighter than my face, is darker than this area. And then my neck is much darker. So I think that works. I don't need to do a wear test since I've worn this foundation before. Let's see, I'm going to highlight with this Youthful Glow Concealer from Ulta in the shade Tan Cool. I've been really liking this. The consistency and the color and the coverage. I know it looks light, but I do blend it out. Oh, and I realized before when I was doing a wear test with the Poreless Putty Primer and I was having that weird creasing on my forehead, and I couldn't figure out what it was. I can't remember. I think I was also trying out the new setting spray too, the Ofra setting spray. But it wasn't that. It was this concealer. It behaves it behaves the same way as the LA Girl concealer, where I just, for some reason, it doesn't want to behave on my forehead, so I just don't put it on my forehead. I'm going to set with my Ben Nye Pretty Pink powder. So I've got my powder down, and as I've said in previous videos, even if I don't put concealer here and here, I still like to put the powder there for highlighting. It's just the concealer is a bit much down here, and up here, for this particular concealer that I'm using, it's just too much. Now I'm going to throw some stuff on my eyes. I'm using the Amuse eyeshadow base in the shade Clean Slate. Okay, now I'm going to do my eyeshadow, and I will be back. Oh, actually, before I do my eyeshadow, I just remembered I was going to contour with this L'Oreal Infallible Foundation Shaping Stick, or Longwear Shaping Stick. This is in the shade Espresso. And then I'm going to go over that with my Ebony powder from Ben Nye. I'm going back to using my contour, like putting the contour powder on my cheeks. And then when I have a little bit of leftover, running that across my nose, but not actually applying any extra powder there, or cream for contour, because I will overly do that. And another thing I've been liking to do is using this to contour my crease. Now I'll blend that out when I actually start doing my eyeshadow, but right now I just patted that down on there. But I need to switch over to a larger brush for my larger area. Okay, now I'm going to do my eyeshadow and I'll be back. Okay, so I guess I'm done with my eyes. It really didn't do what it was supposed to do. It's, I made a mess, but I have to go to work. It's not like awful, it's just not what I wanted. I'm gonna brush off my bake. Okay, well, I was able to clean up a little bit of that glitter placement when brushing off my bake, so that's good. I'm gonna throw on some blush. I'm using the Clean Color Airy Minerals Loose Powder Blush in the shade Plum. Just really gorgeous shade. This packaging pisses me off. Now I'm going to use my Ben Nye Nutmeg Powder for my entire face. Something looks off. I can't tell what it is. I think it's in this area, but whatever. No time for that. So I just put on some lip primer. I'm going to line my lips with the Shayla by ColourPop lip pencil in the shade BFF4. And now I'm going to set my face with my RC May No Color Powder. I'm going to let that sit for just a moment, so I'm going to throw some moisturizer in my hair. I'll be back. Okay, now I'm going to dust off the powder. I don't even know when my phone stopped recording. This is probably a big waste of time, but we'll see. Mainly the only important things were the Juvia's Place foundation that I mixed the 2 shades of. And I mean, I just used the Youthful Glow concealer from Ulta with my Pretty Pink powder, did my contour, did my nutmeg powder, did my RC May No Color powder, and some blush. So I guess the rest of those parts aren't that important anyway if they didn't show up. This is rose water. I think I just went in a little heavy on the highlight, but too late now. I'm gonna try out one of these Dozen Decker lippy things from Clean Color, the hot pink one. That's really kind of subtle. I'm gonna throw this Amuse metallic lip on top. This is in the shade, apparently it doesn't get a name. It's Lip 2093-B. I'm gonna try to diffuse out that highlight a little bit, at least in the near the center of my face. That's just excessive. It's good enough, I don't care. Use the Ofra setting spray. Okay, and I think this is it for today. Dude, whatever. Gotta go. Bye.
Ready for a war, got my armor gear. Dropping your sword cause the time is near. Gotta do it big like Bon Iver. I'm a rock star on a chandelier. Off the walls, yeah, I'm about to go crazy. For the beast